Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's son.
Oh, that guy.
Who dated a Real Housewives of Miami, a housewife. Marcus Jordan, he is in a little bit of hot water. He did something. He was arrested for a DUI on Tuesday. So today, must have been early Tuesday morning. And he said that the cops claim that he would drunkenly gotten out of his Lamborghini after he had gotten it stuck on some train tracks after a night out on the town.
Dang, that's a Monday.
Yeah.
Manic Monday.
Yeah.
Unless you're rolling all the way from Sunday, and in that case,
even that is impressive. There was a lot of allegations around him and cocaine. One time somebody had claimed there was a photo of him doing coke, and he was like, I don't do drugs at all. But there's been a lot of talk around that with him, especially when he was with the Real Housewife.
He was charged with cocaine possession.
Was he on this one as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, that's been tied to him quite a few times. So.
Yeah, it says charged with cocaine possession, driving under intoxication, and resisting arrest.
And again, for those who don't know, Larsa Pippen, of course, is
yeah. I could not think of
Yeah, but it's so perfect because, of course, Larsa Pippen, the ex-wife of Scottie Pippen,
yes.
And this is the son of Michael Jordan. Traitors Season 2.
Yeah.
If you want to get a little glimpse, because they both, Larsa and Marcus, were on Traitors Season 2.
They were the type of couple, because they're broken up now, I believe.
Yes.
But they were the type of couple that when they'd started dating, they were obsessed with each other. And they hung out. They didn't like spending time apart. You can tell that on Traitors. You can tell that on The Real Housewives of Miami. This can't last forever, but they didn't even like being a day apart.
No.
I only know, I know Larsa Pippen through the Kardashians.
Yeah.
And then I knew, I only was like, wait, who is she dating when they were dating? Because of what Mike said, where it was like, are you kidding me? She's dating the son of her ex-husband's former teammate.
Mm-hmm.
And not just teammate. We're talking Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, the best 1-2 combo in the history of sports.
Insane.
Isn't that crazy? And then it always been so Larsa is really somebody who likes to control the narrative. She doesn't like anything negative said about her at all. And so she would get really angry because Michael Jordan would get interviewed about this. And he'd be like, I don't know what to say about this, guys. And he would give not even that negative of answers. And she would get so mad at she'd be like, Marcus, why is he saying this stuff? Why isn't he giving us full endorsement? It's because you at one point would be at dinner dates with him, and now you're dating his son.
Did you know he's been with Nicole Murphy recently? Mm-mm. That's who he's been dating with?
I did not.
Eddie Murphy's ex-wife.
You're saying Marcus?
Yes, we did
Marcus,
yeah. That was in the blind items. Yes, I did. I was aware of that.
Wow.
He had a thing.
He does. It was always interesting, too, because one of the reasons why the speculation was Michael Jordan didn't give those ring endorsements because maybe Larsa Pippen knew all the secrets that Daddy didn't want the kid to know.
Yeah. Had gone out with him. Yeah.
Trust me, Michael was partying, too. There was plenty of things that he had going on that I'm sure he doesn't necessarily want to get out, but maybe through Scottie, she was well aware of all those things.
This love triangle is something else.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's a family.
Now you throw Eddie Murphy in the mix.
I know.
That's a lot. Guys.
All right. I just can't get over that. It was on a Tuesday morning, too.
I know.
Who goes hard on a Monday night? I think in college, that was the one night I didn't even go hard. And I went hard every night in college. It was
maybe when you're big time go outer. Because this happened with Paris Hilton. They would always say Saturday, you don't go out Saturday. That's for
Fridays
thirsty.
and Saturdays, yeah.
For thirsties. Yeah, don't. So maybe they're now it's Monday. Go hard.
Have you guys been out on a Monday, though? Nobody's out.
But we're also Minnesotans. I feel like so many restaurants aren't open on Mondays.
True.
Depends the town you're in. I mean, Vegas, every night's a
true
night.
That's true.
Been out on plenty of Mondays in Vegas.
Which kind of works out well because then you can get cheap flights.
Lily Allen and David Harbour, they are officially separating after 4 years. This is from People. So
the call is coming from inside the house.
We've been hearing rumors of this for a little while. Lily Allen alluded to it on her podcast. She said back in December, she said that she'd been going through a tough time. She didn't really give any additional details, but said that what the source of the trouble was. But she said it was affecting her mental health and causing problems with her eating, so that she'd be stepping away from the podcast. She was stepping away from social media. She was going to seek help, etc. And people were like, they haven't been doing well for a while. Well, now it's pretty clear that they've been crumbling, end quote, for quite some time. They got married in 2020. And really since then, there's been a couple of little things. They're like, oh, maybe they're kind of an eclectic couple. But then you go back and you look with, you go back now and you go, that was probably a bit of a sign.
Yeah.
She talked one time about how they controlled each other's phone apps. I thought this was really interesting. So she said that she has a kid's phone called Pinwheel. And so I guess on this phone, you have no social media or browsing, but you can still have Spotify, Uber, like kind of basic things like that.
Yeah.
And she said, my husband is the caregiver on it, like a parent would be.
Yeah.
So he controls what I'm allowed to have as an app on my phone, and I'm the controller of his as well. And I'm like, huh?
I'm feeling weird about it.
It gives you the ick. Like, I would never, like, would you ever do that with your partner?
No. I mean, if we're at a point where I'm even looking at your phone, we're done. Like, we're done here. There's nothing to be found here.
Right. It's problematic. That was problematic. Then when talking about, she's got an OnlyFans account, as we know, it's foot pics. She does really well with it. And she has said that, she's like, but when we first started dating, he was kind of like, oh, is this like a kink for you?
Yeah.
And she said, no, I mean, I guess the power of it is, but not really in a weird way. And then she said, I wonder if I kink shame my husband. So in the same conversation, she continued on and said, like, she admitted to how she turns him down all the time and says like things to him to make them not have sex, which, whatever, is not that weird.
Yeah.
It just is another one of those things where you go.
This interview was weird too, because something come out. She admitted that he was into something, and it was kind of the beginning of the end of their relationship. I can't remember exactly the thing was, but she was like, yeah, he likes this. And he was like, what? He came out later and was like, I don't know why she said that. But you're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, yes. And I know what you're saying. It's like it was alluded to something that you go, hey, I get that your vibe is that you put everything out there, but at some point you also have to respect your partner.
Yeah, totally.
And if you're not on the same page, like that's awkward as hell. I don't know, but it sounds like they are officially done so.
Well, I hope they both do okay. I know he was out and about in New York recently, running around. I mean, it was Scarlett Johansson because they're doing that. What are they? They did.
He's got Thunderbolts on the way.
Yes.
She's a big executive producer for that Marvel MCU project. But there was also the story that, he had a Raya account where he may Raya account where he may have been on that account while they were still together, trying to hook up with people. So it's really,
and that's how they met.
Yes.
They met on Raya too. So like he knew that it's not like she was not aware. Oh, yeah. That was the big, like, that was the final sort of, she figured it out. Because wasn't she following people on Instagram that he also, like, there was some detective sleuthing happening?
You guys, I just cannot stress enough when you start thinking about if you have to go in someone's phone, our media, I mean, that's a full-time job. You have to do that with teenagers. Yeah. I was doing a yoga class on Saturday, and I was talking to this person about how I have a 2-year-old, and she was like, I have a teenager, just wait when you get up to this point where you have to put these special apps on their phone that will find keywords in their texts and send them to you. And then the kids realize that, so they start speaking in Spanish or like using code words. And then they have to put those code words in those search things for the app. And she's like, it's just constantly terrorism, counterterrorism. It's like her whole life. And I go, now imagine that for your partner. No. We're not going to be doing that.
It's just not, I mean, I didn't realize the thing about they had essentially like dumb phones.
Yeah.
And as soon as it was the like caregiver is my husband, like,
like an admin.
Yeah. That's wrong.
Like, it's because, this happens all the time. We'll be hanging out with the Goldens and they're like, Josie's requesting more time on YouTube. It'd be like that. But I'd be like, Justin wants more time on eBay. Rejected.
Right. Like what is he doing on eBay? Honey.
So weird.
So weird. Okay, guys. Speaking of weird, Bianca Sensori and Kanye West.
Yes.
This story from the Grammys over the weekend. We really dove into it a lot yesterday, but we're going to dive into it a little bit today because we have some follow up here. If you missed it, Bianca Sensori and Kanye West walked the red carpet. He's in an all black outfit with sunglasses on. She's wearing a big black fur coat. And lip readers have said that eventually he basically said, "Make a scene." She drops the coat and she is nude underneath. She has a very, very see-through mesh dress.
You have to
I don't even
zoom
wanna
in.
call it a dress.
No, it's literally like
She's naked.
What is it called? Like a cheesecloth.
Yeah. Like that you filter.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Exactly like that. So they do this stunt. They leave the red carpet. Some sites are saying that they were escorted off. The Grammys have said they were not asked to leave. But other sites are saying, no, police definitely escorted them off. She, at this point at least, will face no legal consequences for this, I guess, stunt, you could call it, in front of Crypto Arena. The thing is, this is what an LA-based attorney told Page Six, which makes sense. While Bianca's outfit undoubtedly pushed the envelope, a charge of indecent exposure in California requires willful public exposure of one's genitals and the specific intent to offend or sexually arouse. And she's like, so it was on private property.
Yeah.
So theoretically, like, it's really unlikely that she'll face any criminal
I will
prosecution.
say, even though, like, I obviously agree. If somebody walked in here with this outfit, I would be like, I would, John Brown. It is a weird slippery slope, though, where you go, what is fashion and what is not? Now, I know that this one seems obvious, but then we get like, okay, make it a hue darker. Maybe we make it where like the nipples are showing. Like,
you got to cover the lips.
Yeah.
I'd like that. That's full. That's it for me. Like there is no.
So you're free the nips. You're fine with
free the nips, cover the lips.
That's where you're at. All right.
That could be my new saying in life. Put that on my tombstone.
I will.
She said, free the nips, cover the lips.
Kai's mom, Jordan's wife.
Hey, baby.
Free the nips, cover them lips.
It's just wild. And a lot has been going around about.
It's crazy. It's so, it's so funny. It's like we are at such a weird time in news that I keep going, I don't think they were kicked out because people are saying they were never invited. And I go, he was nominated.
Yeah.
And so it's just really weird how divided news sources can be, even on this simple fact. Was he not invited? Was he getting kicked out? Seems like a very clear thing if it happened or not.
It's what's going around a lot right now, too, is just body language experts looking at her and saying she looks incredibly uncomfortable. And then people who we always put our own spin and our own experience on things, right?
Yeah.
But people going, this isn't okay. This isn't okay that this guy hardly moves his facial expression at all and acts like this is totally normal. And his wife, there is a power play here that you cannot deny, the power dynamic of Kanye West versus Bianca Sensori.
Yeah, but also then you go, let's say, this is the problem we have in these relationships. Let's say they both are in on this. It looks the same if they aren't. And until she says they aren't, we don't get to say.
And I've often felt that way about this relationship. And again, it's up to them. But there was video from an after party where they're partying and you see Bianca rapping along to the lyrics of a Kanye song behind a DJing table, having an absolute blast.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I honestly watched that and I got a sense of relief. Like,
me too.
Hey, at least this person looks like they're enjoying themselves.
That's what I said. I go, they look like they had a blast at the after party. I mean, she was going hard, dancing around. The outfit she was wearing was just a hue darker, just a touch, I guess enough where people were okay with it. But
it just really bothers me.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of the conversations we had that it ends with us. It's like sometimes you don't get to bring your spin to other people's relationships. And we don't know until she tells us differently.
It's just wild to me, though. Like, fully clothed man escorting. He's always in front of her.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And she's always behind him. And she's always basically naked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's something wrong with that. There's a thing going on upstairs that isn't okay. I'm just gonna say it. Like that's
yeah, no, that's you. it's just one. I mean, we've had these conversations so many times. It's like until that they come and speak their truth, we just don't know. But I get what you're saying, and like I'm uncomfortable with it. Wouldn't be my dynamic, that's for sure.
It wouldn't be my outfit of choice.
Like, couldn't imagine looking like somebody's weird naked accessory, but
especially his flip too. Like, there's an episode of The Kardashians, an old one when he was still married to Kim, where Kanye West is berating Kim about how her scandalous outfit, her sexy outfits are too much, and it's really like it's it's not embarrassing for him, but it basically makes him look terrible, and he's disgusted by her, and she cries. Fast forward 5 years. Okay, here we are. It's just wild. But you said it's for sale?
Yeah. So if we are looking, if we do promo shots again,
okay,
we can get this outfit.
If we make it to year 2.
Yeah. I don't think we do them every year, though. So it might be more like year 8.
Oh, man.
I know.
Should have done my hair better.
It's fine. You're fine. So on the old Yeezy website, it looks like now it's called BD1 is the item number. And it has the exact outfit that she was wearing at the after party, which is a very, very, very black see-through, a very, very, very see-through, black tinted, like low-cut swimming suit and high cut, low-end high cut, almost all cuts.
Right.
There's
there's this much material in the middle.
And I didn't even see how much it costs. That's
$20.
$20. Yeah,
there's not a lot of material, so it shouldn't be more than that.
Okay, but $20 is shocking.
I mean,
I might buy it.
Cheesecloth is probably more expensive to your point.
I bet you the shipping's more. I mean, gonna at least up.
Brittany, you are not going to buy that.
For why not?
For why not?
For why not? For why not?
For our next appearance, I'll be Kanye.
Okay, cool. I'm fine with that dynamic. I feel like in a lot of my life, I'm the dominant one, so I'd be your beta for a little bit.
Make a scene.
Yeah, we would. You wouldn't see lips, though. You're welcome. I've got enough hair down there. It'd be fine. So I wouldn't be breaking your rule.
That's good. That's all I ask.
Thank you. So he may not have been fined. I know that you were like talking about, his indecent, exposure and all the things. But don't worry, Kanye might be feeling some financial repercussions from his little stunt because the Tokyo Dome had him set to perform twice in May. But after his big stir up with his naked wife, the bosses financing the events are strongly reconsidering it. This would make him end up losing, I believe it was about $20 million was what the end deal would have been. So,
so this is like in Japan in general, or just this one show at the Tokyo Dome?
These 2 shows at the Tokyo Dome are saying we don't know, and there's like a bunch of funders. Obviously, it wouldn't be like he would be getting all the $20 million, but he'd be getting a lot of that.
Right.
The investors in Japan who are backing the concepts are extremely upset by this. It's highly likely that they will pull the funding for the show, and would cause him millions of dollars.
Wow.
Well, I mean, different cultures,
I know,
have very different firm rules, right?
And it's the idea that I was reading this article and just kind of like summarize it, is they're saying they don't like a mentality that is defiant. So it's like they told him don't do this and he'll still do it. So what proof would they have that if they said you can't do A, B, and C and that he wouldn't do A, B, and C?
He probably would.
And they've been living in Japan for like a year now.
Yes.
Leading up to this. So he's been laying the groundwork for this performance and all of this for a long time. And the fact that this one move is going to cost him all of that is wow.
That seems very short-sighted.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems stupid.
Kanye West short-sighted? I don't know.
Weird.
You mean reactive with his weird tweets? No, never. Okay, Paige DeSorbo. You may know her from Summer House, or you may know she has a very popular podcast called The Giggly Squad. She was dating for the longest time Craig Conover, who was on Southern Charm. Mm-hmm. So these are 2 Bravo celebrities that have been dating for a while now. I want to say almost 3 years.
Before they were like on Bravo, or did they kind of meet?
They met on Bravo.
Okay.
And maybe not that long. But in the 3 years I've dated So anyways, they have recently broke up. They went public about their breakup about a week ago on her podcast. She came out and said, me and Craig have broken up. Craig hasn't commented on this so much. But there's a lot of things his friends have been asked one time was his friend. They'd asked him on Watch What Happens Live. They said, is there a chance that Paige had been dating somebody else because she's kind of been seen in public now dating people? Mm-hmm. And his friends have said, yeah, we think so.
Oh, so they're saying she had an affair.
Yes. They're kind of alluding to it and going, well, she must have maybe an emotional affair because how could she have moved on this quickly? Mm-hmm. And Craig, who's been on a lot of outlets because he's been promoting Southern Charm, just finished wrapping up. And he's also promoting his Sewing Down South is his sewing company. He's been doing a lot of promotional stuff and not kind of stopping this or, coming out and saying, hey, Paige didn't cheat. Well, Paige has had enough of this. So much so, she went on Giggly Squad yesterday and said, hey guys, I never in the 3 years that I dated my ex-boyfriend did I physically cheat on him, emotionally cheat on him. She said, since there's nobody sticking up on the other side, I will say that Craig and I broke up on Thanksgiving weekend. So a while ago. Mm-hmm. And that's at the end of November. Craig then went on and did his press for Southern Charm, did whatever he needed to do, acting if we were still together. And that was fine. I said that he could do that. He was processing in his own way. So she was giving him permission to say, you can, we're not going to formally say that we have broken up. We're going to figure this out together. It, at this point, has been over 2 months. Mm-hmm. And they had just come out with it. Well, I guess at that point, Craig had gone out of town and he was presenting himself as single. And she said, all right, I'm done with this.
I'm not going to look like an idiot.
I'm not going to look like an idiot since we were waiting because you had to do a press tour and you didn't want to have to deal with all the breakup stuff. And I was being nice about it. I'm sick of being nice about it. This is what happened. Here's the timeline. Here's why you've seen me on dates in the last couple of weeks because we've been broken up for a while. And I'm acting single because I am single. And she was pissed. Because
I would be too.
I know, and his best friend Austin I couldn't think of his name at them. Austin and Patricia were the ones on Watch What Happened Live just a couple days ago, and they were just totally digging at her, and they were just saying these things. And Austin knows the timeline,
right?
And he still wants to be in it. Maybe she is because who would move on that quick?
Especially when you come from a place of, listen, I don't want to, I already feel really, every time you break up with someone, you feel bad. It doesn't matter what you're breaking up with them for, you feel guilty. So I'm sure
there's this distance.
And I'm sure she felt guilty enough that is why, hey, you process, you do what you need to do. I don't want to be a distraction for your promotional work. Like, they both get the business.
Totally.
But then to jump over to the other side and act like I've done something wrong.
Right?
Hell no.
I know. And that's why you're like, well, he hasn't said anything. Him not saying something is saying something.
Oh, 100%. He wants to look like a victim.
No, I know. And they all have platforms. His big thing now is looking like a reformed guy because he has Sewing Down South and he wants to be like the Martha Stewart of sewing and doing all these different things. And so he would love the promotion of looking like a reformed bad guy, I know. The Southern Charm guys are so problematic. You have no idea.
I would not last a minute in the South.
You would not. I would not. Mike, you would not.
No chance.
Not a chance.
They wouldn't want us. We're already all too old for anything.
Hey, speak for yourself.
We are. They're all, if they're not married by 30, they're on that show going, I know, I'm probably too old. You're like,
geriatric.
They pretty much. There's this ex-model who's like, I get it. I'm disgusting. And it's like, what?
What?
It's so wild down there.
It's just, but if you say, bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
It's fine. That's the thing that I don't get about the South. Like, I don't know those little things
as
that they
the
do.
day is long.
Very
so
quickly,
it's okay?
to roll back to where we started, Marcus Jordan, there is now a video, you can go to TMZ. He actually fled from the cops. There was a high-speed pursuit prior to when his Lambo got stuck on the train tracks. So he's going to be probably facing more than just these possession charges and DUI charges because you actually can watch the video. The cops eventually were like, he's in a Lambo, we're not going to catch him. They pulled over, reported it, and then he got caught on the railroad tracks.
Shut up.
So
it's not like they wouldn't know he was either. A Lambo, Marcus Jordan, all of that is like, we'll get him later.
Exactly.
Oh, thanks for the update.
No worries.